Okay, my name is Emmanuel Okiri. I work with the Nubian Rights Forum. We are a human non-profit organization working on discrimination on challenges of legal identity and digital identity, especially in Kenya, with the recent introduction of the new digital ID called Maisha Number. And today I'm going to present on the challenges and the opportunities that Nubians have through the developing of a digital identity platform. First, I'm going to look at the elements of exclusion by design, whereby digital identity systems that operate and exhibit types of behaviors that encourage certain individuals or communities being unable to safely and effectively participate in the system are designed to exclude. This is sometimes these are systems that are meant to recognize or surveil or prosecute certain category of people, most of the time through ethnic populations or religious beliefs, and immigrants or refugees. And when there are no remedies or redress for such mechanisms, every digital identity system should include the effective and prompt reparations for harm suffered. In the case of the Nubians, a community who have been working towards recognition in the context of Kenyans as tribes, as ethnic backgrounds, and they experience a procedure known as vetting in accessing legal documentation, and they are at risk of becoming stateless due to lack of accessibility of these platforms since they do not have the legal identification. Digital ID systems sometimes can, particularly those that include biometric recognition, are not always accessible for people who are disabled or who are old, or instance people whose fingerprints or other biometric indicators are eroded or deformed because they face complications both at the time of collection and the time of authentication. There's also the element of a centralized database. In Kenya, the Maisha number is part of the eCitizen platform, which recently has been under risk of attacks from hackers in South Sudan. These elements ensure that it is hard prove that it is hard consolidating large amounts of anonymized personal information, which creates high value targets for such characters, and the severity of data breaches in such operations are likely to be a single point of failure in the instance if systems are all in one centralized database. Multiple authorities typically have to access the centralized database, increasing temptation for many actors to abuse the available data. Another element I'd like to discuss is the issue of lack of human rights impact assessments. Before implementing Maisha Number, the government of Kenya did not conduct with relevant stakeholders, including government, including companies, international financial institutions, and independent human rights organizations in conducting impact and data protection assessment tests to identify, assess, and address the potential harms that the system may cause through the design. These harms are some of the issues we have gathered during our research. We've traversed to the country with a team led by our project manager, Yasa Musa, and our executive director, Shafi Ali Hussein, in examining the impact of this digital identity in marginalized communities within Kenya, especially for the communities, and some of the issues they dealt or looked and wanted as mitigation or transparency, in that when building a well-functioning and trustworthy digital ID system, DPIs, the government approach to DPIs should be transparent and engage with the people and communities, because they are the people who the people likely to be most impacted. Governments should also achieve transparency by sharing this information about the decisions they've made, including during public participation. We should also look at the limited use of biometrics, although it has become normalized through the collection of biometrics through registration of SIM cards, passport documentation. It is unfortunate that kids' biometric information will be delayed through this digital identity tenants such as the UPI, which is a tenant of Maisha number that it will be registered from birth all the way to death. And then such systems should also have opt-in and opt-out mechanisms with a robust legal data protection frameworks. These, which include, they should be based on at least 8 principles of consent, lawfulness, fairness, and transparency. There should be a limitation of purpose, data minimization, and accuracy and storage limitation, integrity and confidentiality, and accountability. These principles govern the these principles show that the mitigations toward trustworthy digital ID is accessible. Uh, when DPIs are deployed by governments and with the purposes of improving public services, those linked to welfare, for example, in Kenya, there's a all welfare program for the elderly, which is they receive some funding every week. They, this these digital DPIs can make them be cut off from accessing services because they lack meaningful access to technology, maybe because they have specific attributes or experiences that prevent them from harm and disenchant and exacerbate existing models of exclusion and disenfranchisement. These immediate compounding harms, like being denied public services like healthcare, education, or almost beyond, leave them vulnerable and deep, push them into deeper margins of vulnerability, making it impossible to climb out. Aspects of data insecurity are harmful, particularly if centralized, and can pose biggest dangers around the world. Leaks have been there, hacks of databases, stolen identities. Matters can only be made worse if there is no meaningful data protection. This leaves people with limited options in recovering their losses. Lastly, is the aspect of discrimination, where through the design, we should look at having DPIs such as Mesha number, which do not properly account for needs of all the specific community. They're likely to be left behind and cut off from essential services. This will put them at even greater risk of serious harm, and it may range from targeted surveillance, detention, or even deportation and denial of services. Thank you. I think I'll stop at there.